Well, howdy, friends. It's Thursday, or Thursdayge. It's your weekly program talking about games powered by the Adventure Game Engine by your friends Green Ronin. I am Disembodied Troy. Someone was asking me the other day, why are you disembodied? And I said, well, a part of it is it's how it started. It started because there were so many people on stream. I thought, I'll just be a voice. And then as it related to the Thursday, I actually there are some episodes in the archive of me on there, but I have what I call resting dipstick face, where I just look like I'm just thinking far too hard. And so out of nerves, I just kind of stuck with the Disembodied Troy thing, and it works for me. And how can you produce sound waves if you don't have a body? Well, as a being of mist, I'm able to manage. And then I have, of course, friends, the corporeal friends, like this guy right here.
Like me. Hi.
Hey, buddy. How goes it?
Hey, Troy. I'm fine. I just ran through the door, grabbed my microphone and my headphones, and jumped into the seat so we can go.
You did it with great style and panache, and landed right where you needed to land. And here we are together.
Yes, it's amazing.
Our little creative collaboration project, which is, we're kind of shifting gears on it, not in any kind of derogatory way, but we're really leaning into feedback and polls and that kind of stuff. And
Yes.
So today we're going to work with the community to figure some of this stuff out.
Indeed. The community is you guys in chat, by the way.
That's right. The arbiters themselves living in chat. And also as they incarnate in the Grad, which is the Green Ronin Atomic Assembly Discord, and our official spot in the world of Discord and the many, many thousands of servers that there are, maybe even millions, I don't know. But
so many servers.
Yeah, we built a little area in there where we're having some pretty awesome conversations. If you head to, I'm going to drop a link here to the channel, at least. Let's see.
I dropped the link for the Discord itself, but you got the bigger one. Okay, cool.
Yeah, get them right to the channel, and in the the channel itself is called the Thursday Building the Slumberer's Burden, an interactive design series, and that's kind of tucked into the official live streams section near the Hall of Arbiters. You will see all that, and in here, did you get a chance to check this out?
Me? Yes. I mean, I saw people typing there. I was so busy that I did not respond to everyone yet. But I saw what Michael and Paul were talking about, and I was indeed falling in love. It's very good.
It's very good stuff. Paul's written some great stuff, and we've got some great questions that we're gonna fashion. And I want to Shadowkid says, I've been working on the Dragon Age Quick Start on roll. You've been working on it on roll 20. Nice, says Shadowcat. I'm looking at the chat as Troy has one of his head in them Futurama head jars. I do indeed. Oh, hey, look at that. We've got a new they just rolled out some new features for Restream, and I'm trying to figure them all out. I'm not sure. I mean, I think that looks kind of neat, but there's no background, so it's harder to read. So my apologies. So it looks weird. But Tempo says, did you take Malcolm Shepard's advice on improving this setting into the survey questions? And I will say, ultimately, yeah. I mean, that's really great advice, and I love advice that you're already doing. That's definitely
Indeed.
part of the plan for certain. But zero grace. Let's see here. Yeah, and Michael in chat, you're, really what you put together was kind of inspiring. And the notion of sort of some of the questions and some of the, concepts and things. Now, one of the things I think that's important, and tell me what you think, my friend. When
Mhm.
we're looking at, of course, and I don't even know that I said your name. You're the Duke. You're the Duke in purple. You are
Yeah, thank you.
I know, I'm so sorry. Co-designer,
It's fine.
co-host, hanging out, we're partying, we are creating a mess, and we love it. Um,
Yes.
there is, um, I think that there's some confusion as to sort of when we bake something in and when we don't. Like when an element of the story is really not open for debate, but we haven't discussed what that looks like. So why don't we just unpack that for a moment?
Yeah.
Hey, Devious, sup, Dukes?
Hey, Devious.
I love it. So yeah, let's unpack that just a bit. So
Sure.
I hate to shut the door on anything. You know what I mean? But we can't really leave every element or piece of the storyline up for debate.
Yeah, we
So
can't.
what are
Otherwise,
you,
we'd never get anywhere.
absolutely right, which is just one of those things. What do you think? How do you think we should handle the discussion to change something that's already kind of baked in?
I mean, it depends a bit, I think, on what is being questioned, and maybe the why and how a better alternative is being presented. So if somebody for some reason comes up with some amazing thing that is so much better than what we came up already, then I would probably be not like super averse to at least
Exploring
take it in
a change? Yeah.
exploring that and talking to you about it, maybe then talk to our arbiters about it and see how it would better fit, or if it would change so many things that we have to redo a whole bunch of things that it maybe would be too much or not. But if it's
Yeah.
a small thing, it would be fine, I guess. But in many cases, if something is set, it should remain set so that we can have some
I
sort
think
of
so
progression.
too. I think so too. Oh, Michael in chat. Yeah, absolutely. We're not talking about your stuff. We're gonna get to what Michael in chat shared in some detail here
Yes,
in just a moment. But I'm not
that was
referring
just a
to you.
general.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
just doing a little kind of preamble, housekeeping kind of discussion. And for me, I feel like I agree with you. I think that by and large, if someone feels a case to be made, there's a case to be made to shift a major element, that I think we should at least understand what they're saying. And then if it's a hard no, it's just that's it. Um, and when we can, like,
It can be uttered in pleasing ways. It doesn't have to be a
yeah,
no.
no, yeah, absolutely.
Shame
And
on
all of
you.
this,
Bad idea.
yeah, exactly. Shame on you. That's what we should do. Anytime anyone suggests anything,
Yep.
shame. You're bringing
Shame.
shame on your
We
house.
ring the bell and then
And then I'll throw the fruit and vegetables and yeah.
I
Um,
bring the feces.
okay, nice, excellent. Yes, yes, fantastic. But yeah, I think and I think too that we can do a better job of codifying baked in stuff, because I think naturally with this collaboration, people are kind of taking ideas away and they're still in collaboration mode when they return. And in many cases, we've made decisions, and then there are just naturally going to be decisions that are based on the design intention of you, Ren, and me. Like that's gonna be that's essentially what gets challenged here. And
Yeah, yeah,
or if there's a hole that can be, sort of supported with additional narrative, some kind of a mechanism. Now, one of the questions that I've had as we've been working on this is, where's the age? Where's
yes.
the, I want to see more of that powering, not just
Hmm.
the character, your character creation and uh, uh, systems to resolve, conflict or those sorts of things, but you know, there's a missing mechanism, I feel.
Yeah, I think uh, when it comes down to system ideas, a lot of what Age provides in terms of structure is coming into play when you have some sort of thing, a scene or something already going on, like hazards, for instance.
Yeah.
If we want to design hazards, which we definitely want to, because that's probably one of the first things we will think about when having all of these ideas around the maw and the Etheria
Hmm.
and all of these dragon parts. What's dangerous there, and how could that be presented in a game? Those are things that we should think about. Maybe lair stunts, something like that. If you have a beast somewhere that, or an area where location stunts could happen, those are things that I think we should prioritize right now. More
Yeah.
of the character-driven rules questions would probably only come into play a bit later, after like the base setting is more or less solidified and set in a way that we can have NPCs who have maybe stats, or we
Yeah.
have a location that has like maybe a temple of the what were the cultists? They had a name, I forgot.
I just had my window open, I closed it, but we're talking about are we talking about the upstairs or downstairs cultists?
The cultists that basically rule over the city, that go like, no, nothing is going on here, everything is fine, don't worry about it.
Um,
Um,
the is it the heralds of the? No, that's sorry, I'm pulling it up, but yeah, we know the
Yeah,
cultists with the
sure.
words.
You know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like if they have a temple, maybe in inside of that temple, certain conditions apply. Like there, like
yeah.
something that can be baked into rules. If you enter a certain space, maybe the peril tracker is being activated and progressed without the PCs having to do something. Like all of these things that are like tenets of what would be H system parts would come
Yeah.
into play then. But most of that starts coming when the most important setting parts are at least set down, I think. And I think we're not there yet, but we're very close to that point.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think too, one of the hallmarks of an age setting is there being kind of a unique system mechanism
Hmm.
for for anything. Like, for instance, I think of the Expanse. Someone asked a question about the Expanse. I think the churn is one of the funnest elements to add to any age game. Just that mounting
Definitely.
tension. Um,
Exactly. That's what I talked about with a peril track. Like Fantasy Age calls it peril. In the Expanse, it's called the churn,
yes.
but it's the same thing basically.
Yeah, absolutely, and love that the relationship mechanics in Blue Rose, all of these things are fun and unique, and I wanted to at some point bring up a discussion about, so what is the I want a unique element to this,
Hmm.
a something that could be used in other places,
Yeah.
and sorry,
I
Michael and
think.
Chad, I'm not sure.
Oh,
I'm not hearing myself break in and out. So it could be restream. It could be a lot of things. But I'll keep an eyeball and see what might
okay.
be causing the grief.
You
But sorry, go ahead.
You sound fine to me. Do I sound weird to you guys too? So maybe we can figure out where the issue is if you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
listen to
Let
it.
us know in chat.
But yeah, what I was thinking about, what could be an interesting mechanic, um, since we don't know where the players will come from, like the player characters. The players, that doesn't matter, but the player characters.
Right, right,
So
right.
are
What their
are
history
they
is in the land. Yeah.
exactly. Are they outsiders who come into this place? Are they people who grew up in this place? Grew they up in the Maw? Grew they up in Etheria? Are they what faction are they assigned to? And
Hmm.
depending on these factions, I'm pretty sure like we could use bond mechanics in a way that also give them like advantage and some positive effects in certain areas, but also like maybe negative effects. Maybe they are under the influence of the dragon and therefore have a bond to the dragon even against their own interests sometimes. So
Yeah.
you have a codified thing that works against you because you are part of this or that society. And that could be interesting to explore here because the whole dragon thing is this looming weirdness that occurs. So that this could be probably put into a rules thing, and I think bonds would be working well for that.
Hey,
What do you
Swanmay,
think?
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. And I think that that touches on some information that our friend Michael in chat dropped in chat over at on the Discord server, and that was basically talking about some questions that can be a type of alignment system that can be sort of the fundamental details for faction play.
Mhm.
And I really was inspired by the way that he presented it, and it being a kind of yeah, just I think it also will help us define what are the elements of those factions that makes them so unique and special. What is the
Yes.
difference, and I think it answers it attempts to answers a lot of those questions, and I think that that is very smart. And so I think that we should also talk about when we've got something. We've got great stuff in here from Paul, Michael in chat, a few other folks weighing in on their thoughts about the questions or about the direction we should go. How should we handle it when somebody has submitted a great concept? Like, I mean, clearly it's in the context of, hey, share some ideas. And so, Michael in
Definitely.
chat, we're just going to presume that you're like, hey, we should do something like this, or it would be fun to explore it. So now, Duke, that we're exploring it,
Mhm.
how do we work with Michael in chat to flesh out some of the edges of this feature?
Sure, why not? I mean, I'm glad for any one of the arbiters who is willing to participate in this. And
Yeah,
if some people are very interested in this, like Michael and Paul are, for instance, I'm glad that they are there, and I would love to develop things with them. I
yeah,
mean,
sounds
if
great.
it's just like a here's an idea I have, go fish, and we're grabbing the idea and starting to do something with it, that's fine
Right.
too.
Yeah.
But since we are in a in a back and forth relationship, not through this video but through the Discord, I think it would behoove us to like
So
consult
here's what I think we'll
you
do.
guys.
Let's do it this way. So if your friend, if you're out there listening, Michael and chat, this includes you. Uh, if you got an idea, I would like to schedule a pitch show
Ooh,
where we
yes.
bring people on to and we talk and they pitch the ideas to us and we ask the questions and then solidify. I mean, the
Hmm.
notion being, hey, we're having the conversation to wrap our minds around how it fits in. It's not like we're going to be like, no, thumbs down, you know.
We bring you into the fold just to tell you we
Yeah,
have such
like
a great
Shark
idea.
Tank,
We will not pursue this.
for that reason, I'm out. Yeah, exactly. Now, um, excellent stuff. And And so, yeah, Michael in chat, let me know, and Paul, you as well. It would be very interesting to have that episode sooner than later, and just kind of kind of structure it
Yeah.
around the pitches and kind of go from there. Shadowcat says if the
Also,
people are being controlled, they'd be walking in a daze, but if they receive some pain, like getting burned, they somehow snap out of the daze, like in right, like the Temple of Doom, like it kind of shakes them awake. I think that they don't see themselves as being in a daze.
yeah, it's it's like a background tinging maybe, but not something like really takes you out. It's more like something that slowly changes your perception in ways that you don't notice or don't pay heed to certain things, but
Yeah,
not a complete like dulling of everything.
yeah. I think what it
But
is
interesting idea, yeah.
yeah, it is definitely maybe there is some application to this as it relates perhaps to uh the shepherds.
Yes,
We have talked about
definitely.
that they, my thought originally was that they were just kind of the dragon just created them like they would create any kind of antibody or whatever. That some dragon magic made it happen. Your idea is that they were a creature or a humanoid of some kind that the dragon co-opted and
Yeah.
ran them through the old Dragonator, and then they came out
Exactly.
these drones. Yeah,
That yeah. Imagine if orcs but dragon. You know,
yeah,
what
right,
if
yeah,
orcs but dragon?
yes, yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
you
And
know,
so
like the changed elves and other people became orcs, and now we're taking people from here and they become dragon-ish people, dragon orcs, so to say.
yeah,
Only
and maybe
without being like savage beasts.
one thing I would like to maybe clarify with you is do you feel comfortable with the notion as that they were already what they are, a smaller diminutive kind of I'll say dragon-esque, and that the dragon just co-opted them as opposed to that they were humans that kind of golemed into these
I'm fine with either. I
yeah,
think I personally think it more interesting if it took over the species that was there basically to do its bidding in and to change it into something itself. But I wouldn't be super mad if we chose some other way. So I'm really
yeah,
fine
no,
with
I
any.
like the idea of them. I think it lends some texture to the world outside if they were an existing, kind of everything coming from the dragon. It doesn't have to be that way, I don't think.
Yeah. Oh, by
Uh,
the way, one thing I wanted to mention.
yeah,
Speaking of the collaboration, throwing things at the wall show that we might do. If
yeah,
any of you want to participate but wouldn't be comfortable being on this, we can also schedule a thing that's just on the Discord if you want to. If like, I wouldn't want to force anyone into a show where they might feel uncomfortable.
yeah. And I think what we can do is structure it thusly. We can sort of begin the official ask, like, "Hey, let's have this conversation," and then at ultimately at some point we will talk about it on the show. And I just want us to be well versed in it
Yes.
and to totally understand it. And so we could do that kind of thunderdoming of the pitch in Discord, and then have the live stream be the discussion about what, and if the person's
Yeah.
comfortable, being sort of the face of that.
Yeah,
Um,
I just wouldn't want anyone to feel like left out if they're like, maybe I don't participate if I have to be on the show or something. You don't have to do anything. It's all good. We are happy with whatever you can provide to us.
Now, I like this question, and I find it interesting if the answer to the origin is left uncodified. It's just background with no consequence, really. And I think that the only reason why it matters is because I think people will ask. They're gonna want to know or understand what their knowledge is of these things that are
Mm,
like such a central part in the success of both of these cities.
yeah, I think it depends maybe a little bit on after the setting is set what we want to do with it. If we were going for maybe an introduction adventures thing or something where it is not yet set for everyone to know what's going on. And
Yes, that's
later
true.
in an adventure where it becomes relevant that this is revealed, then it becomes part of the canon, that it's not like written in the setting, by the way, this is a dragon, he's controlling everyone, play around it, but we only allude to it in the setting base structure, and then through whatever adventure stuff comes, we reveal things through that whenever it becomes
That's
relevant,
right.
so
And
that
I
it
think
becomes
too,
interesting to everyone.
exactly. And I think too, the reason I bring it up because I like what Shadowcat talked about, the notion of that kind of walking around in a daze, and if they somehow are woken up, and we have that concept, and I wanted to sort of connect it to the guard, or to the shepherds rather, and do so in a way that was very intentional, and so I think you're right that there's many elements, of this whole idea that we're really showing the sausage being made, and how it works is just like, I mean, the same, it's the same notion in video games. We may have an understanding of what we want the experience to be, but the road to get there is paved with side quests and player housing, and all of these
And
elements.
collect 5 wolf
That's
eyes.
right. That's exactly right. That's right. Go find the candlestick maker and
Yes.
bring him some tallow and all that stuff. Um, and I am not familiar. Let's see here. Temple mentions the Blue Rose adventure using a faction system where the actions can strengthen or weaken a faction's influence. Yeah. Something about an artifact that corrupts people and which group stole it. So kind of, oh, I see sort of this passing of it's the eternal game of magic football, and the person who's, the faction that's got the ball is the more influential.
The
There's
updog, yes.
also, yeah, there's a few other systems that I think are pretty great, and I thought there was something in one of the engines. I don't have them in front of me right now, but I do think that a good question, a good area for us to sort of start to stake out is the faction stuff, and that I think we
Mm-hmm.
kind of have at least a tacit agreement or understanding that we do want to flesh that out some more, and I think it's a fun thing to really leave in the community's hands, as far as like people who are passionate and want to make contributions to that feature
Mm.
set. Um, let's see. Yeah, I
Let's
agree, Michael and
see.
Chat. Yeah, I agree with you, and I think too, it's a good reminder for us that we can leave some loose ends. We don't have to
Yes,
define every millisecond of every thing, and I think that
definitely.
we don't want to paint ourselves into a corner by feeling like we have to do some of that stuff. But also there'll be
Yeah.
some questions, and we'll but that's
Mm.
uh, a good idea to sort of marinate on.
Yeah.
Is there an outside?
Shadowcat asks. Oh yeah, you just
Yeah,
okay. There you go.
yeah, I'll handle that. I got it. I'll do my part.
You
And
do your part. It's fine.
no worries. Yeah, so Shadowcat talks about, is there an outside world? And what's very interesting to me is that you've done some thinking on this.
Yes.
Look at me hosting. You do some, some noodling on this, and have even gone so far as to imagine there being a third kind of, look at these weirdos in the dragon's mouth. What are they doing here? You want
Yeah.
to elaborate on that a little bit?
Yes. So my ruminating around this was, yes, of course, there's an outside world. Like, the direct environment around the dragon is still more or less of a wild wasteland where not much is. Maybe there is some plant life, and there are animals and stuff, but there are no settlements in the direct area of where the dragon is. But outside of that immediate impact zone, so to say, there other settlements started to pop up again after the big disaster, whenever that happened.
Hmm.
And eventually, like, people came into the dragon reach, so to say,
Hmm.
and either became co-opted to staying there and go like, oh, this is such a nice city, I must live here, or and that's the third faction that exists, became the people who are like, wait a moment. This is a
Mhm.
gigantic dragon. People are living there as if it's nothing. This is weird. What's going on here? And those are the people who are seemingly immune, or at least not as influenced by the dragon's mental powers as others, and therefore created like a faction of maybe it's not a good idea that there's a dragon living here that could wake up at any moment and destroy everything once more. And
Yeah.
that would be the people who I lovingly call the Pragmatherium. Like they're pragmatists who just go like, there's a dragon that's alive, that isn't a thing that cannot be. This dragon needs to die, and we need to
Right.
make this happen.
Exactly. Yeah. It is literally just smashed into our world, and it is what it appears to be. I agree with
Yeah,
you, Desmond. I just want to bring this up real fast that people do crave context, and I think that
definitely.
you really solve a lot of problems if you paint the story that you're telling with some time to give them context for who they are in this, and how they might want to react. And, people,
Mm.
uh, role playing games being a series of choices that you make in reaction to the environment around you. I think that,
Yeah.
it's a designer's sort of discussion to say, is this piece an important element that really should be spelled out well?
Mm.
And, and I love this too, Dragon Orcs. The dorks.
The dorks, yes,
Yeah,
this was so cute.
yeah, I love it.
I have one thought.
Yes, please.
I just one my one brain cell has one thought,
Finally, one
and
thought.
finally, at least once. And it would be when thinking about putting this into some sort of product or publication. And if we have ideas about the truth of what's going on, and I like that we litter information throughout the adventure line that is happening,
Mhm.
but I think there should be in the setting publication one area that is very decidedly, this is game master
Neutral.
only, and only read this if you want
Oh,
to, where we
yes.
denote these things that are true about the world, so the game master is aware of what's going on, but
Yeah.
only if they want to know it. Like many
Yeah.
people will want
Yes.
to know it, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't just put it in the book and everybody can read it, and I wouldn't just only litter it through the thing. So the game master had other ideas, and suddenly it's like, oh, what the frick? What's happening now? Oh God, how do I do this now? So
Yeah.
they have a where to prepare themselves that is detached from the rest of the publication, where
You
they
know what
can
would be
decide themselves:
fun?
do I want to know this?
It would be
Yes.
fun if we created, maybe this is a kind of a new and interesting product, but it's the secrets addendum, which is sort of like
Yes.
a dossier of GM's eyes only. Open it up, and then maybe in there we can have a couple different scenarios. It could play
Yes.
out in many different ways.
Mhm.
There's a bazillion ways to run with it, but that have the secrets that they can feel pretty confident that when they pick it, we've considered how it fits in the story and
Yeah.
context and all that stuff. I love this idea.
Speaking of scenarios, while I am thinking about this, what
Yeah,
I think would be super interesting is if we were offering them like 3 or 4 different truths
that's exactly what I said. Yeah,
that change whatever is happening. Like one
yeah,
truth is, that dragon is doing this shit, and it's
yeah.
all him bidding the thing. The next is that dragon has been dead for ages, that there's nothing going on there, or
That's right. What they're
whatever.
seeing is decomposition, and yeah, yeah,
Exactly, so that there are multiple ways to resolve these adventure hooks that we have, depending on how which part of the truth you choose as a game master to present to your players. So you
yeah.
have a high replayability as well, because you can do the thing with that truth, and next time I'm running it with that truth, and next time I'm running it with that truth, and that
Yeah.
way have vastly different outcomes for the thing,
And
and giving it more meat to work with.
I also think it future proofs against if your players go, oh, it's the dragons making them come to the, and tricking the people. The dragon's really the one doing all of this. You can go, maybe it was the idea, but you can switch midstream so that someone like Paul Rua doesn't ruin your plans. It's Kinball. But
It's great that I'm apparently suggesting all the things Michael already suggested. It's great. Thanks, Michael. You're fantastic. Cool.
yeah. And it too was also my suggestion, and the one I had before I met any of you. So it's really my idea. I'm just kidding.
Yes,
Let's
definitely.
see. And this is funny. It's more than this. Devious Hearts having a little devious theater in the chat. Guy one, all dragons must die.
die.
Guy two is, but we live in it. And then the first guy is like, oh, never mind. But it's a little different because they're like, I don't care. I want it to wake up, or I want it to die, or I want it. Like they're pretty resolute. I think that there's
Yeah.
a few factions that have come to terms with the fact that there are people that are going to die.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing has like a lot of like analogies to the Matrix and to the where people are living in this fake dragon world, but they want to stay there because it's providing them with all the things, despite the fact that they're being controlled and maybe eaten at some point.
And
but others are like, we want freedom and we want out of here and we want you to get out of there.
There's some that are like, I just want the steak, and then others that are like, not. Yeah, and so.
Exactly.
And I think that I subconsciously came to that based on what a great storyline it is, because I worked on the Matrix, and so like that being an element, like that certainly informed. There's some trickery afoot, and some forces at play that you don't see until you do see, and then when you do see, well, then what do you do?
Yes,
really interesting place to tell a story. Hey, speaking of dying. I am dying to talk to you about this. Our buddy Jonesy, who's in chat right now, has a new Halloweeny adventure spark at DriveThruRPG. $5.99. You can use that QR code, and you are going to be transported to this slashers. And basically what it allows you to do, it kind of opens up some resources for you. Let me get to the page I'm sharing, because I'm also looking at Discord. And I've got monitors that I swear are probably, I don't know, 4, maybe 3 feet wide. They're very wide. And I still don't have enough room on my screen for all the things that I need to do. It's weird. But yeah, so GM advice for running a slasher style one-shotter campaign using Modern Age. It's let's see. Okay, talks about some the important stuff, kind of set in that context and setting the stage. Movies, television shows, and books and comics that might inspire you for your slasher epic here. 16 slasher setups, optional rules, suggestions on which existing Modern Age optional rules to use. And then new optional rules. Wickedness bonds, body count bonds, and payback stunts. Oh, I love this. Endgame, the final blow. Or is it? Fantastic. Adversary suggestions from across the Modern Age game line. Lovely weapon stats, GM trackers, and a player. That says Polyur, but we know it's player. Get on over there and use that QR code or the link that I'm dropping in chat and pick it up if you want to get creepy for cheapy. Love it. QR code on the screen, of course, will take you there as well. Super fun. It's an all-star cast here as well. It's, Stephen Jonesy and Aaron Einhorn are the authors. Jacob Blackman, our buddy, who does a lot of Mutants Masterminds over there at the Rouge Genius crowd, or Rogue Genius, sorry. And then there's Rick Hershey, Luis Prado, and Dean Spencer. So as artists, so check it out. I was stoked to see. Cool. Yeah, I was stoked to see that. Thank you, friend Jonesy, for keeping me on in the know. And if you too are creating some manner of release for the Age Creators Alliance, let me know, because we'll talk about it right here on this very program. One would say it's almost the purpose of this program, to highlight all your good
Definitely.
works. So check it out. Thanks again to Jonesy, and then let us know what you think. Tell me what your body count is.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very
and
cool.
in addition, there's something else that I wanted to share, and where did it go?
I don't know.
It left me.
Oh
We're
no.
having another spooky sale right this moment, and I'm going to switch some stuff around. So I might have to cover your face up for just a second.
That's fine.
It's our Back to Ghoul sale, and
Back to go.
Back to Ghoul. We've got the print PDF bundle, 25% off for Fantasy Age, which includes Cthulhu Mythos, Fantasy Age, Bestiary, Lairs, and the Campaign Builder's Guide.
Yes.
And of course
All
the
the good stuff.
core book and the core book in print and PDF. That bundle. You can also, some folks were a little confused about this. You can also pick up individual products if you just want to, you want to grab the core rule book, second edition, of course. You can do so. And I am pulling up the Green Ronin online store, which is greenroninstore.com. That's where I go to do my research. And you will see on the very front page these specials. And I'm going to drop the link in chat. Head on over there. The other sale is our 6 zine bundle, 20% off. And in that bundle, you've got the 3 engine magazines. That's the Age magazine, talking about all kinds of good stuff. And then with the release of the last engine, it was Sage.
Yes.
Yeah, simple adventure game engine, a simplified version.
And it's amazing. And it
Yeah,
comes with
a great
4
response.
settings.
Absolutely. Yeah, 4 settings, and they are fan-friggin-tastic. They're really evocative, wonderful experiences. And then we're also, as part of the 6 zine bundle, we've got the 3 dread crawls. And those are sort
Yes.
of system agnostic campaign resources filled with creepy stuff and a kind of a cosmic horror vibe, which I love. There's some great entries in there from your favorite Green Ronin developers. It's good stuff, and it helps us out as well. As you know, we are up to our eyeballs in trying to get our stuff back from our friends over at Diamond.
Some friends.
Yeah, some friends, right? Like they borrow your stuff and never give it back, and Anyway, so
Run
litigation
away with the
continues
couch.
apace, and there's going to be an update coming from our Grand Poobah, Chris Pramus, very, very soon, like even within the next day or so, that talks about the latest in what's going on. And I don't want to. There's a couple things. I'll wait for Chris to get here so he can share some more. But keep your eyeballs open for that. And yeah, it's the world of litigation and law and all of that is just a real how do you don't. And
Mm-hmm.
it can be very challenging, but I'll tell you what it really is very expensive, and it's just requires a lot of funding. I'm going to drop a link to our Critical Legal Defense Fund, and I do so thanking you even just for pausing a moment to think about us, and really honestly, we're raised nearly $40,000. Have spent that on our attorney's fees, and it's all and it's every penny of it is going to help us fight our case. So
Yes.
don't I just in case people are wondering, let me uncover your face so we can get there you are. But yeah,
It's
so
me.
yeah, and if you can if you've got some opportunity to support us, that's great. But we also appreciate all the support in the other ways too, buying products and hanging out on stream and being a cool friend. So,
Yes,
um,
definitely.
yeah.
Speaking of which,
Mm,
we were talking about Sage earlier, and I absolutely love that it's taking such a departure from what the age default was, and going like new ways of being like in a more simplified and nice way. And I kind of hope that we can either use Fantasy Age or Sage as the base for our project.
absolutely. Yeah, interesting. I like that. I like that a lot. And
And also, oh, sorry, you
oh,
go.
go for it. No, no, please you.
Okay, and another thing I wanted to put out, talking about friends, our very own Swan May put out also a creepy thing on the Discord. It's the Gaggle of Ghouls.
The
It's a
Gaggle of Ghouls.
Yes, it's a small little document with creepy fiends in it, and it's great. And they put it on the Fantasy Age forum on the Discord. Please check it out; it's free, and give her some love.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. I'm looking for the link to that.
Let me check. Uh,
But I just had a brainstorm.
ooh,
While you look, I
go.
will share it. And what I'm thinking is that maybe an element or two of this was, as we're working with our friends, that we submit it for Engine in this little project that we're doing here. We submit some of these
Yes.
concepts and these feature, sort of these mechanisms.
Mhm.
I like it as a kind of test balloon to see what people think.
Yeah, sounds great. Let's do
Awesome.
that.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let's see. We are swiftly running out of time. Surprise, surprise. When you're looking at sort of what's on your plate as it relates to very specifically the kind of design that you are, kind of working on forever in your brain, it's always the nonstop. And we'll touch base with our friends. With our friend Ren. They, of course, folks may know this or not, but they have been on the stream because they have welcomed a new life into the world, and so they're just experiencing that and putting all those, sort of the pieces of the puzzle together, because your life sure does change dramatically once you have children, and so we're giving them
Indeed.
the space they need. So they're still connected, and we are we remain awfully fond of everything that they do, and congratulate them, and with much love, look forward to their return. So, looking at what's on your plate, and the way that we sort of divided things up is that you're in charge of the mouth.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Bah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So you're yours, and when I say you're in charge, I mean like literally you're calling the shots there, as far as like elements
I'm
that we
king of
want to add. Yeah, go for it.
king of the saliva palace. That's me.
That's right. That's right. A very glandular experience. So
Mhm.
knowing that, and also here's the other thing as well, is I don't want this to eat up a lot of our time outside of Thursday. So I want to, make sure that people understand, like, we make progress on the show, and that there are certainly elements and things that get kind of talked about or bandied about outside of the program. But so just setting expectations. Where do you feel like you're at in the development of the Maw?
That's a good question. I think I need to do a little bit more, and I need to do a little bit outside of the thing to prepare a bit.
Yeah,
But we you put the review documents up right there
I did. Yeah,
on the channel. Good.
yeah,
So if everybody watching would be reading through those, and maybe throwing some ideas or little nooks and crannies or whatever they come up with into the thread that we have, that would be
yeah.
cool. So I can see what kind of speaks to me, where I get like tingles in my brain and go like
Right.
ooh.
That's how you know it's
And
working. Yeah, yeah.
because I'm pretty sure people will come up with things that are way better than what I have been coming up to.
Well, how about
And
we do this then? Why don't we do this? Why don't
yes,
we actually create a poll or a
Mhm.
survey question or something that says,
Mhm.
check this out, and then provide any inspiring thoughts in this space. You know what I mean? Like as far as maybe it's a thread in Discord or a response to the poll or something, but and let's see, let's kind of play around with what that might look like. And then that can be a whole nother discussion in itself, kind of a,
Sure.
isolated dialogue. Shadowka says, night all, keep safe, gotta stand between you and harm and all the empty places where you must walk. Lovely, and thank
Right.
you. Thank you very much.
Bye, Shadowcat.
I'm with you, Paul. I love a good brain tingle. When you know it's working, when it's all your thinking meats are firing on all cylinders in concert with somebody else, and you're like, hey, we're making a connection. And I love it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
one of the
great.
reasons why I love collaborating like this, because it is, there are many, many moments that lend itself well to a good brain tingle. Speaking of good brain tingles, you can head on over to the Atomic Think Tank, and
The
it's
think tank.
atomicthinktank.com. And basically, it's our hub of hubs. And you go to this big hub, and there are just oodles and oodles of information to check out. There are people to meet. There are live streams to learn about, events. There are, if you're a Mutants and Masterminds fan, that community is on fire. There's Swan May helps coordinate a sort of homebrew section. You name it. If we're doing it, there's an element or a place to talk about it in the tank. So atomicthinktank.com, you can find your GM, find your players, find your answers, and find your events, and you'll find us there too, because we like to hang out and have some fun. And so do please stop by and give it a spin. Check it out. You don't have to, you're going to see a lot of very engaged people creating a lot of very interesting content. You can come and just avail yourself of that and enjoy it. You don't have to, do anything. Really, the only thing you have to do is answer the 3 questions that let you in the door, and they're pretty darn simple. I think when I'm looking at our history of how we've let people in, we have only remove or not allowed one person who decided not to change their answers because it was just like ASDF, 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 they were just gibberish.
Yeah.
So they're easy questions, but it's a great place. It's a lot of fun, and you will find what you're looking for, or the people that can point you in the right direction. So check that out. In addition, talking about brain tingles, Thursday nights, we do office hours with me. It's Get Tech with
Yes.
Troy. It is so much fun. I can't, it's my job to hype things up. And so I get it. If you're hearing me say this and you're like, all right, this is great too. This is the most amazing thing that's ever happened. It's great. And it is the most amazing thing that's ever happened. Essentially, the idea here was to get together and have conversations with me have conversations, not we. It was, I wanted to have a time where people could go, hey, Troy, you forgot a thing. Or, hey, Troy, I want to talk to you about my live stream. I want to talk to you about ways that Green Ronin could partner with me on sharing more information about what I'm doing. And so I thought, yeah, let's do that. Let's have office hours where, it's interesting because really 99.9% of the work I do is online. And so why not have a virtual office? And so at 5 p.m. Pacific, that is a mere hour from now, join me on a Zoom call where you pop in and you can listen to the madness. We have the conversations go everywhere, and in a good way, in a great way. And they can
Definitely.
be, they can be a conversation that you start yourself. Like if you're coming with a kind of a notion, an idea as it relates to being, creative or working in the TTRPG space. If you want to do a live stream, or you've got an idea for something like, I don't know, maybe you want to support my dream of creating a Green Ronin community talent show
Yes.
where,
Or you're like me and bring a big soapbox and rant for an hour
and
about
which,
about the
and you
state of technology in the world.
And you 100% have space to do those things. That's right. Heavy Metal Game Master was there, has joined us,
Hey.
which we love, and thank you, my friend. But yeah, it's a great time. Head on over to atomicthinktank.com and click on that Zoom link. You will be 5 p.m. I open the doors, and then who knows where we go. We will. I guarantee this: that if you need to get a word in edgewise, or you got something on that you want to bring to the agenda, then we will make sure that any nonsense about I don't know the nature of things and is time real, or Nate's horrifying injuries of the past. We will put a stop to all that and talk to you directly and make sure that you get your time. And it's really just an opportunity to make some new friends, have some wonderfully deep and interesting, and sometimes a little non sequitur conversations. But it's your time to really avail yourselves of the resources that Green Ronin has to offer, and the community and all that stuff. And so you are welcome to join. And of course, we dropped a bunch of links throughout this program to the grad. And for those who maybe didn't know, the grad, lovely, beautiful, absolutely phenomenal resource supported by fans only. They are really the backbone behind it. It has now become an official resource for you, and we, as a Green Ronin, at the place where we live, and on the Discord
Indeed.
side of things. And of course, we've got our good buddy Duke, who helps out quite a bit in keeping all the things
Yes.
moving and grooving and all that. So you'll see him there as well, and you'll see all the usual suspects. And you're welcome to join too. And it'll be fun. You will
Yes.
have a good time. It's all the things you would expect in a Discord and more, like conversations
Definitely.
that we're having here about our creative collaboration project.
Also
Which
expect the good things. Expect the good things you expect from a Discord. Don't expect
that's
the terrible things
no,
on
not the
Discord.
bad things. No,
Those go away. We have
we've
the good things.
yeah, based on the foundational elements of your good works, Duke. We have a very good system of sorting the good apples from the bad apples being like bots and things. And so you're going to have a little
Yes.
challenge moment where we say, are you human? And you need to do some stuff to prove it. Nothing arduous, of course, but
Nah.
critical
Any
nonetheless.
exactly. Anyone who has a mild idea what Green Ronin is about will have little issue answering the little questions that we have that prove that
That's
you're
right.
an actual person.
Yeah, and we really are just trying to prove humanity, not necessarily that you have an encyclopedic knowledge of Green Ronin's past. Very easily identifiable, findable, and shareable answers.
Exactly.
All right. Well, my friend, I feel like we have done it. We've done it in half. We've done it so hard that it is now two things.
Oh no!
No, it's
I
good.
mean,
No.
it's good. We have if it's like we have two cakes now.
Yeah, two cakes exactly. And
That's
who
good.
doesn't like more cake?
Exactly.
Right. Thanks everybody in chat for all of your enthusiastic contribution. Anticipate seeing some stuff in Discord that'll talk a little bit about answering some questions, and Michael in chat, we're going to be knocking on your door here very soon to talk about stuff and just sort of build that out into something a little bigger than an integral part of what we're doing. So thank you for that, Duke, and of course thank you for joining. I really appreciate your time that you spend. It's lovely, and it's always a joy working with you. And
thank you so much. It's always great to have you around and to join this lovely thing that we have and talk to you, lovely person.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. And with that, don't forget, if you're listening to this on demand, you might have missed it. But in just an hour, we'll be doing hanging out with me, Get Tanked with Troy, and my office hours. Head over to atomicthinktank.com and just follow the Zoom link. It's that easy. And with that, I say to you, goodbye.
Goodbye.